And welcome back for another CottageCutz YouTube video tutorial. This is Marla with Mad About Cards and Crafts. I don't know about you, but my craft room looks like a bomb went off in it. And I have all of these little odds and ends die cut pieces from Christmas card creating that I did not use on cards that I thought I could use to create some post-holiday cards. I'm going to enlist the help of two of the large sentiments that were part of the Black Friday release. My first card will include this happy birthday. I have cut it out of craft cardstock. I did layer it up 3 different times just to get that chipboard feel. The word happy is extra large in a printed format, and then the birthday is a scripty format. I thought by using some of these large word dies and then pairing them with my Christmas odds and ends that I might be able to just use up some of the things that are on my desk rather than putting them back inside of the envelopes. So the happy birthday is a 2-piece die set. I had already created, I shared it in another video, this slim pine tree, and then I also had created the wide pine tree. So these were 2 pieces that I showed as an example in one of my videos that I did not use on a card. I also have the buck from the winter deer that I had not used, and so I thought that this would create a beautiful masculine card. I'm going to put my other pieces aside. We'll get to those in just a minute. Here is a hillside of snow that I created. I just used one of the dies from CottageCutz. And then I'm showing you off screen a little bit, but I am trying to get the measurement of that panel. I did use an older pinstripe background stamp that I had and some Catherine Puller ink. It's called On the Lake, which is really pretty. The panel, I did cut that down to an 1/8 inch smaller than 4 by 5.5 inches. I have an A2 size card panel. This is craft cardstock to match the happy birthday sentiment, and I'm just going to use some glue to add this to the center of my panel. This is going to be a quick and easy card, and then I'm going to add my snow to the bottom. I did want to talk a little bit about the giveaway for this video. We are giving away the thank you sentiment, which is going to be part of my next card. And in order to qualify for that video, for that sentiment, you do need to be a U.S. Resident, so you have to have a mailing address in the United States in order to qualify. Unfortunately, because of the cost of postage, we are not able to mail outside of the United States. So if you do live in the U.S. and have a U.S. mailing address, you can leave a comment, like the video, and then make sure that you're a subscriber. In my next video, I will pull the winner and I will make that announcement in my next video. So if you're interested in entering to win that thank you die, that is what you need to do to win. Here I'm using my T-square ruler, and I want to talk about the T-square ruler a little bit. I don't know how many of you own one, or if you've ever played with one. Sometimes I really have a hard time lining my sentiment up, and the T-square ruler works really well because it rests up against, in this case, the left side of my paper where that T, the top of the T is, but I have to push the ruler down because it's going over the card. If I am not holding that portion of the ruler down, then those letters are going to slide underneath and they are not going to stop. So I'm using the edge of that ruler to really help me get an alignment for my letters. It's very helpful when you have separate letters. There I thought I was going to be able to use my jewel picker to pick up my H, and obviously that wasn't working. So here, because I have glued 3 layers of this together and this has a thicker feel to it, it does make it a little bit easier to align with that ruler. I laid down the H with the glue, and now I'm adding the Y. So now I'm making sure that the left and the right side of my card panel are aligned together, because I want to make sure that I have the right distance between that H and the edge and the Y and the edge, and then that will help me align the rest of my letters. If you watched my last video, I did have a giveaway in that video too. It was for the garden window, so that cute little garden window with the cat. And the winner of that die is Night Angel 0515. I will have Mary Marsh's information linked in the description box below. All you need to do is send her an email, let her know that you are the winner of the garden window, and she will get that die sent out to you. So once I finish aligning this happy, I'm going to align my trees, because I am going to layer the birthday over my 2 trees. And so I need to make sure that I have them in place. So I'm just checking the placement where those are all going to fit. I also need to make sure that my deer is going to fit. And then I need some space between his antlers and the birthday. So this looks like a good place. I'm going to put the tip of this taller tree right in between the H and the A. It was a great place for that tip to nestle. And then I'm going to make sure that the wider tree is going to be the same distance on the right side as the slim tree on the left. So I'm going to adjust this over just a little bit, and there it looks to me like everything is balanced. I'll check again to make sure that I don't put my deer up too high, because I want to make sure that I'm going to have room for that birthday. And then I decided that I would just go ahead and I would add the birthday first and adjust my deer accordingly. So here we go. We're going to layer that down across the 2 trees. We'll add some glue to the back of our deer. And this was a great way for me to get a birthday card, a masculine birthday card at that, and use up some of those Christmas dies that I had cut. So there is card number 1, and we are going to move on to card number 2. Card number 2 is featuring the thank you die. So this is the one that I am giving away. Sorry for the glare right there. There we go. I moved that over. Now I did cut this out of some pattern paper that I had in my stash. And this was a polka dot paper, so I cut the thank you out of that polka dot paper. And now I'm going to share this little mouse. So this little Christmas mouse was something that was sitting on my desk, and I went ahead and I colored it up. So it's called the Candy Cane Mouse. This was part of the Christmas release. And then part of the Black Friday release was this Trellis Background. Love this die. I cut it out of pink cardstock, but I wanted to show you something. So here is a single layer using that Trellis Background die, and that is really pretty. But something that you may not realize, if you cut the die a second time, which I've done here from some green cardstock, if you align it, look at it makes no difference because it's covered. But if you turn it upside down the opposite direction, look at that. You can layer up this panel. So I wanted to go for that two-tone look because I did have the minty green candy cane, and then I wanted to incorporate the pink. And I think that this was absolutely beautiful. Now, I didn't like the green quite as well on top. I think that the green underneath was a much better fit for my card, but you could layer them either way. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back of this, and I add it to the middle first because the outside edges are the ones that really need to adhere the most, and I don't want that glue to dry out. Although I am going to lift this off anyway because I don't get it aligned perfectly. But I try to add that glue to the outside edge last because that's the part that you really want adhered the most. So I'm going to, well, maybe I did get this on the first try. I'm going to lay that down, and now I'm going to add some glue to the back of the pink layer. And again, I'll start in the middle and then I'll work my way to the outside. So if you have had a chance to look at the blog, we do have some amazing designers over there that have been using both the Christmas release and the Black Friday release. I was so excited about this particular die. I have been wanting a plaid die for a long time. I just really love background dies. I like staple pieces in my stash, and so this one was perfect. And then of course, as I just showed you, we have the added bonus that if you flip it upside down, you can get even more a different look out of that. So I had this frame sitting on my desk. This is not a cottage cut die. This is just something that was sitting on my desk. I didn't want the trellis background to show through, so I did cut a piece of pink cardstock, the same color cardstock that I used for the trellis, and then I'm just trimming that down so that it will fit behind my frame, and I'm going to use that frame as a focal point. Now, because I have all of these layers going on, you will notice that I didn't use any foam tape on my cards. That is something that is super rare for me because I do love dimension, although I did triple up both of my sentiments. So the thank you sentiment also is 3 layers deep so that I have that nice chipboard feel. But because I have all the layers, I did not use any foam tape on this. I'm going to try to get this centered. I think I have it centered. I push it down and then I realize no, it's not. It's kind of a little bit wonky. So I'm going to fuss with this just a little bit, trying to get it straight onto my card panel. And once I get that onto my card panel, you'll be able to see that I did use a Tim Holtz stencil on the back. So I used, I think it's called Bubbles, and I used some saltwater taffy ink. So the saltwater taffy I thought went with the colors that I had colored for the scarf and the hat on the mouse. I'm going to place my thank you around the mouse. So I'm just trying to figure out how I want this to sit. I want to make sure that it has a nice balanced appearance to it. Because I do have that interest in the background of that pink piece of cardstock with the bubble stencil, it does allow me to leave a little bit of open space because you're going to be able to see that background behind it. It's not just going to be a plain piece of cardstock. I will place this at a slight angle. I don't know, I'm not really one that always sets my sentiments straight up and down or horizontally on my panels. I like to kind of add a little bit of a tilt to it. And I'll add that glue to the delicate U. I really love this sentiment. I think that it's just, the font is absolutely beautiful. I love the delicate lines in it. And I like that you can use a large sentiment with just this one little small die cut, and it really adds a lot of interest to the card, so the card doesn't look really plain. And I'll get this set on top, and then I look at it, and of course I want a little bit of sparkle and shine, so I am going to use my diamond stickles. I'm going to have to work at it just a little bit because my stickles is almost empty, and I have not been to the store to get another bottle. And I haven't ordered anything online, but you'll see I'm like squeezing it as many different ways as I possibly can, trying to get some of that because, you know, it kind of sticks to the end of the bottle, and or the inside edge of the bottle, and there's plenty in there. It's just trying to get it out. And once I get this stickle and this sparkle and shine onto the pom-pom of the hat and to the rim, that's going to complete my card for today. So 2 cards using some of the Christmas odds and ends that I had sitting on my desk. I hope you'll take a look at what you have sitting on your desk. All of the products that I've used will be linked in the description box below. Here is a close-up of card number 1 and finally a close-up of card number 2. Thanks so much for joining me today, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks for watching.